What's up, guys? It's Solo back with another video here on the second channel, Solo 2.0. Now today, you guys see we have an NBA tier list video. We have about, what is this? 7 different tiers. You guys see them: favorites, contenders, playoff teams, play-in teams, missing playoffs. We got the rebuilding tier, and then we got the last tier I added, which says seek help / what's going on here, which some teams fall into that category. It's just like, what are these teams doing? We're not sure. I got to turn my phone's ringer off. I don't know if you could hear that, but shout out to Kenny, King of the Fourth Quarter. He uploaded a video like this on one of his channels, and so I was like, you know what? That's a fire video. I saw it. I didn't really watch it, so but that's where I'm getting inspiration from. So shout out to him for sure. But yeah, I really want to do this. I just love talking basketball. We got about 10 days, about 2 weeks till the NBA playoffs. So it's time to start putting these teams in tiers. And then, you know, once we get the actual playoff bracket, I'm going to predict what's going to happen. So yeah, if you guys haven't, make sure to subscribe to this channel. This is my second channel, not my main channel. So sub up, turn on noties, and drop a like on this video. You guys low-key went crazy on the last video, the reaction video. If you guys didn't see that, I did my first reaction video. So I'm going to have to do more reaction videos, but let's get into it. We got the first team. It's kind of behind my face cam, but you can still see it. I don't want to make my face cam too small. You guys see, it's the Milwaukee Bucks, and we're starting off hot. You guys see, we got the Bucks, we got the Nets. I got to go kind of quick through some of these teams. This team in particular, though, I'll probably spend a little bit more time. We're going to put the Bucks in the favorites tier. So I'll put probably one team from each conference in the favorites. And let me just get the records up on my screen. All right, we got him. So the Bucks are third in the East right now. The top 4 teams in the East, you got the Heat, the Sixers, Bucks, and Celtics. Record-wise, those are the top 4. Bucks are in third place right now, and they're my favorite. They've been my favorite for a couple weeks now, probably honestly a couple months now. The East is pretty up for grabs. I'm not gonna lie. There's a lot of, not up for grabs, but you know what I mean. There's a lot of options, a lot of different ways that the East can break down. And when it comes down to it, the Bucks, they just won the finals last year. They have basically the same exact team, and you know, Giannis, if not, some of these players are looking better. You got Giannis, Middleton, Holiday, Lopez, Grayson Allen. I just like how this team is built, and they are going to be my favorite coming out of the East. A lot of people have the Nets. You guys see here, a lot of people have the Nets coming out of the East. Let me know actually who you guys have coming out of the East, or let me know your finals matchup in the comments. But the Nets, for me, they're gonna be contenders. They're probably my second favorite in the East. I mean, you got the Heat, Sixers. They're probably my second favorite. The East is going to be interesting. The playoffs are going to be fun this year. I don't know. The Nets, though, Kyrie's going to be playing all the games. Ben Simmons should be coming back. So I feel like that's a big reason why a lot of people have them as the favorite. But for me, I just like the Bucks a little bit more. Oh my God. I might switch this. By the time the playoff bracket comes out, I might end up switching this. Also, the Nets currently the 8th seed. So technically, the Nets should be down here in the play-in teams because they're going to make the play-in. Like, we know they're, you know, they're not going to miss the playoffs, but technically they should be down here. But let's be honest, the Nets are probably going to get out of the play-in, right? If you guys don't know how the play-in works, there's going to be 4 teams, 7 through 10. Basically, 2 of the teams get out. 2 of the teams get out. They get seeded 7 and 8. Obviously, it's harder for the 9 and 10 seed, but the Nets should make the play-in as like an 8 seed, I would say. I mean, if they fall to 9 or 10, that's going to be scary. Maybe I don't know. I mean, I don't think they're going to lose to like the Hawks or the Hornets. I don't know. We got the Nets in the contenders tier. Next up, we got the Knicks, who are currently the 11 seed, 34 and 42. They're the last team outside of the play-in, or the first team outside of the play-in. They're the 11 seed. Obviously, you need to be top 10 to get in. And I mean, it's not looking like they're going to get in there. They have 34 wins. Hawks have 38. Hawks are right in front of them. And so I think they just fit right into the missing playoffs tier. You know, yeah, I mean, there's, like I said, I don't want to spend too much time talking about each team. The Knicks, a team that I expected to get into the playoffs. I honestly had them as like a 5-6. Well, the thing is, my 5 through 8 preseason was like all 1 win apart. I had them in that tier. I had them like, you know, low 40s wins getting into the playoffs, but they disappointed this year. They disappointed. Next up, we got the Raptors, who are currently the 6th seed with 43 wins. And I think the Raptors are just a playoff team. You know, maybe they nah, I think they're a playoff team. I don't think they'll be in the play-in. I think they'll get in regularly. And I just think they're a playoff team. Maybe they'll win a series, maybe they'll put up a fight. They probably won't win a series though, but yeah, I don't think they're a contender. They're just a playoff team to me. You know what I'm saying? They're not going far in my opinion. I just don't see it. Next up, we got the Jazz. Switch over to the West. First team in the West, we have the Jazz, the 5-seeded Jazz, 45 wins. And, okay. To me, the Jazz are a playoff team. I'll put them ahead of the Raptors. We'll rank them within the tiers. So, you know, I could see the Jazz going farther than the Raptors for sure. The Jazz are going to be a very interesting team to see play in the playoffs. But I just think the West really has like 2 to 3, maybe 4 teams that have a chance. And I don't really think the Jazz are one of them. Of course, maybe they win a series and shock us. Maybe have an upset somewhere in there. Maybe go on a run, get to the Western Conference Finals, but I don't really see them winning at all. I don't really think they're a contender, and that's just my take. Next up, we got the Rockets. You might think I'm putting them here, but I'm not. The Rockets are rebuilding. They got a lot of young talent with, you know, Christian Wood. Sengun doesn't look terrible. Jalen Green, Christopher. It's just a really young team. It's probably the youngest team in the NBA, or if not, top 3 youngest. Yeah, they're rebuilding. There's not really anything or no reason to talk about them. Next up, we got the Pelicans. Now, the Pelicans are 1 seed ahead of the Lakers. Lakers are 10th right now, which we're going to get to the Lakers actually next. Pelicans are 9, 32 and 43. And the Pelicans are a team preseason that I said was going to make the playoffs. I think I had them as the 8 seed. Maybe I had them higher. I know I had the Pelicans in the playoffs, and that was kind of my hot take. A lot of people didn't really see them making the playoffs, and then they started off really bad. I think they were like 3-17 or something. They were like 3-18 to start the season, and I was like, holy shit, I was wrong. But they turned it around, and they're in the play-in right now, so that's where I'll put them. Play-in team. I don't really think they're going to do anything this year. Do I think they'll make the playoffs? Like, basically what I'm saying is, like, get out of the play-in, which they'd probably have to win 2 games. They'd probably have to beat the Lakers or Spurs, and then they'd have to beat the Clippers or Timberwolves. So, I mean, honestly, they're probably not going to make the playoffs because they're going to have to win 2 tough games with a playoff atmosphere. I just think they're kind of a young team. I think they have really good potential. When Zion's back fully healthy, this team's going to be really good next year. I'm telling you, this team's going to be really good. They got CJ McCollum now, Brandon Ingram. I like this team a lot, but this year, probably not it for them. Now we got the Lakers. Lakers are a team that you guys probably, you know, this is probably the team you guys really want to hear about. Like, out of all the teams, I mean, you got the Suns, the Warriors, there's probably a couple, but the Lakers are one of the most interesting teams in the league. They're at the 10 seed right now in the West. Tied, well, they have the tiebreaker, but they're basically tied with the 11 seed Spurs. And I was looking at the schedules, right? I was looking at the schedules. Here, let me just read them to you, actually, because why not? So, Lakers, 10 seed, Spurs, 11, basically tied. They're fighting for that last spot in the play-in. Here's the Lakers schedule. Versing the Mavs. I mean, they could win any of these, but I'm going to say that's a loss versus the Mavs. Versing the Jazz. Probably another loss. Probably 0-2 there. Versus the Pelicans. That could go either way. We'll count as a win. We'll go 1-2. Then they verse the Nuggets. I think loss. We'll say 1-3. Again, any of these could really go anyway. Versus the Suns, that's probably a loss, 1-4. Then they versus the Warriors. You know, I might give them that game. The Warriors been playing a little sketchy right now. They're really banged up. We could give them that game. They're 2-4 there. Thunder, we'll give them that game, 3-4. Nuggets, probably another loss, 3-5 for the Lakers to finish the season. So that would put the Lakers at how many wins would that be? 3. So 34 wins for the Lakers. Now let's go to the Spurs. Versing the Grizzlies without. Actually, is Ja Morant healthy? I don't know. But that's probably a loss versus the Grizzlies. 0-1. Versus the Trailblazers, probably a win. 1-1. Versus the Trailblazers again, probably another win. 2-1. Actually, they might split that. But then they verse the Nuggets. You know what? The Lakers will probably get in. But do I think they're going anywhere? No. Could they? They have LeBron. They have Anthony Davis. They have Westbrook. They could be a scary team, but do I think they will be? No. I don't think so. No. I was going to say they could win a series. They're probably going to be versing the Suns, though. So, no. I don't think they're going anywhere, but I guess the Lakers will be getting in as the play-in. You know, I thought the Spurs had a chance there, but I don't know. They do have a chance. We'll see. The Lakers have to win some of those games, obviously, or they're going to fall out, which would be interesting. Next up, we got the Bulls. The Bulls are, in my eyes, they're just a playoff team. They're currently the 5 seed, 43 wins. They have potential to fall into the play-in. Like I said, they're the 5 seed. The 7 seed, which is in the play-in, Cavs, are 1 win behind them. So it's really close. It's really close. They are a very good team. A little bit banged up. They have been banged up all season. And I just don't think they can compete in a 7-game series with the Bucks or the Nets or some of these other teams in the East. I just think, you know, maybe they win a series, but I think they're just a playoff team. They're not a contender in my eyes. Next up is the Timberwolves, who had a very good season. They're at 43-33 and now 7 seed. 7 seed. So, and this is another one. I mean, I guess they're a play-in team, but like, yeah, I mean, I guess that's where I gotta put them, because they're probably gonna draw a tough matchup if they do get into the playoffs. They're probably gonna have to verse, you know, the Grizzlies. It's looking like they're gonna have to verse the Grizzlies. I don't know. The Timberwolves could shock some people. I wouldn't pick that upset if it was Timberwolves Grizzlies in a 7-game series, but Timberwolves are probably a play-in team. They're 7 seed right now, and they will probably stay there. Next up, we got the Trailblazers. Trailblazers are 27-48, 12 seed. Not going to make the playoffs or the play-in unless a miracle happens, but I don't see it. And this is the first team that's going in the seek help / what's going on here. I just don't understand this team. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. Maybe I'm missing something. I'm not an NBA expert. You know, I've been watching a lot of March Madness. I've been doing a lot of other things. Haven't really been watching every single game recently, but it's like, I know Lillard's been hurt, but other than Lillard, that's really all you've got. You don't have the pieces to really make a run in the playoffs. I think it's time to like rebuild or something, bro. You got Nurkic, Josh Hart, Anthony Simons looked nice, but it's just like, that's not enough. That's not the pieces. It's just a weirdly built team, and it's like, I don't know. It's just like, what's going on here with the Trailblazers? So yeah, that's the first team going in that tier. Next up, we got the Nuggets, who are the current 6 seed. They're a playoff team. Jokic is insane. Jokic is insane, but Jamal Murray, it's looking like he's not gonna play in the playoffs. At least that's what I'm hearing. Maybe he does play. I hope so. I really wanted to see it, but it's looking like Murray is still not healthy enough. So that alone, I don't think they're a contender because of that. Maybe they shock some people. I don't know. I don't see it. I think they really needed Jamal Murray, and it's looking like he's not going to be back. So the Nuggets are just a playoff team to me. Next up, we got the Thunder. 22-53 Thunder. They're second to last in the West. 22 wins on the season. That's kind of embarrassing, but they are really banged up. I'll put them in the rebuilding tier because they are definitely rebuilding. They've picked up some nice pieces, and they just got to keep doing that for, you know, the next couple years. They're not going to be good soon, but they're rebuilding for sure. Grizzlies, 53-23. You know, the Grizzlies, they got to go in the contenders tier. And, damn, this is tough. I think you got to put them in the contenders tier. Do I think they're actually going to go and win it all? No. No, I don't really see it. But I think they're like bottom of contenders, or they're like the top of the top playoff teams, because they can definitely get to the Western Conference Finals. Maybe they win a series, something breaks their way, they're in the finals. But do I see them? I just don't see them winning it all personally, but maybe. They are a very good team, second in the West right now. So I think you got to put them in the contenders tier. 53-23 right now. That is crazy. No one really expected this. Like, people knew they'd be solid, but like, this is crazy. Next up, we got the Mavs, 46-29. And maybe some people put them in contenders. I think they are probably, you know, top of the playoff teams tier. They are 4 seed right now, and they will be in probably. Yeah, they should get in regardless of the plan. I don't think they're going to drop to the plan, but I think they're just a playoff team. I think maybe they're a piece or two away from being like a contender. You know, Luka, he's going to go crazy, but does he have enough to take them all the way to finals and win? I don't think this is the year. So they're going to be at the top of the playoffs team. Maybe they make a run though. but I just don't see it. Spurs. Oh my God. Unfortunately, they're going to miss the playoffs. The Spurs are a weird team. I low-key like them because I like Murray. And they just got a couple pieces there. You could even argue, like, they're basically rebuilding, but they almost made the playoffs. Like, I like the Spurs. I like the Spurs, but unfortunately, I think they're going to miss the playoffs by 1 spot, or miss the play-in by 1 spot. I think they're going to be 11 seed. Next up, Suns. Oh my God, bro. The Suns are so good. 61-14. And Chris Paul was hurt, by the way. They are going in to the favorites tier at this point in time. I know I'm a Warriors fan. I said I was going to have one team from each conference in the favorites, and I think this is what you got to do. In my opinion, some people might have Nets Suns. Some might have Bucks Suns. Some might have Bucks Warriors. And honestly, I made a bet a month or 2 ago. I probably like 2 months now. Bucks Warriors finals. That was my bet, and hopefully it still happens. Obviously, I'm a Warriors fan, but oh man, the Suns are they are very good, and I wanted to make a video on this, but I didn't, so I guess I'll kind of talk about it now. When it comes to the West, a lot of these teams are banged up. No, I'm not going to pull it up, but I'm looking at it on my other monitor. You got the Lakers been playing weird, banged up. Pelicans banged up. Clippers banged up. Timberwolves, a little banged up here and there, but nothing major. Nuggets banged up. Jazz have been banged up. Mavs, a little banged up, not really. Warriors been banged up. And then you have the Grizzlies, who are a little banged up too, and the Suns a little bit banged up. But Grizzlies and Suns, they got a good shot. And the Grizzlies, they got to go for it this year. Obviously got to go for it this year, but it's like when it comes to next year and these future seasons, teams are going to be healthy. Jamal Murray's going to be back. The Clippers are going to have Kawhi and PG. The Nugget, or I just talked about them. You get what I'm saying? A lot of these teams are going to be way healthy. We will probably see Clay back for a full season. Clay, Curry, Draymond. Like, the Grizzlies, everything's perfectly lined up for them right now, but they got to get past the Suns somehow, and the Warriors, of course, who, in my opinion, those three are the only ones that really have a chance coming out of the West. That's just my take on it. But Grizzlies got to go for it this year. It's just perfectly lined up for them. You know what I mean? The stars aligned, or whatever you want to say, for the Grizzlies this year. And they need to do it now, or else it's going to be tough in the future. But yeah, the Suns are just so good. You got to put them in the favorites, or if not contenders, but I'm putting them in the favorites for sure. Like, they are just insane. 61-14. Crazy. They don't lose at home, really. 8-game winning streak right now, too. Next up, we got the Clippers. And the Clippers are a play-in team. They're going to be at the top of the play-in teams, though, for me. Unfortunately, they're probably going to make it in as an 8 seed, I would say. Maybe 7. Probably 8, though. And they will probably have to verse the Suns. So, and this is assuming that the Lakers or Pelicans don't pass them. But I don't know. Paul George should be coming back either tonight or, like, the next game. And then Kawhi's working his way back. If they get both of them back, I mean, it could get scary in the playoffs. The Clippers could be a sleeper team, but they are going to be like an 8 seed. So they're going to draw a tough matchup. You know, they probably won't pull it off, but they might put up a fight. They might take 2 games from like the Suns or something if they do face them, and PG and Kawhi are back. Kawhi's probably going to have a minutes restriction or something like that. Not going to be playing like 40 minutes, but Clippers, unfortunately, a playing team. Fortunately, due to injuries and stuff. Warriors. The Warriors are going in the contenders. I like them more than the Grizzlies, but the thing is, Curry is scaring me, bro. Curry is scaring me. He's been out. Same with Clay and Draymond. A lot of these Wiseman still, like, they have so many injuries that I'm getting worried at this point. And it's like, Curry's supposed to be reevaluated soon, but the playoffs are literally in like less than 2 weeks at this point. They're like 2 weeks away. Like, Curry's scaring me. They're not going to go anywhere without Draymond. Maybe they'll win a series, but Draymond's needed. Curry's definitely needed. Clay helps. He hasn't been the same Clay, but he's been solid. And it's just like the Warriors, if they're healthy, if they get healthy, they're a contender. If not, they're not a contender. So we're going to have to see when it comes to injuries, but the Warriors are scaring me. If they are fully healthy, though, they could give the Suns a run for their money. And I might even switch this. Again, we're 2 weeks away from the playoffs, so it's hard to tell. But the Warriors, definitely a contender. Definitely a contender. Next up, we got the Pistons. They'll go in the rebuilding tier. Not much to talk about there. They just have a lot of young players. Jeremy Grant, Sadiq Bey, Cade. They're looking good. Just give them some time. And so, yeah, they're going to go there. Who knows? Maybe they get Chet Holmgren in the draft. Next up, we got the Kings, another team rebuilding. We'll just put them there. Not much to talk about there. Eastern Conference, Cavs, 7th seed right now, 42 and 33. They have 2 teams in front of them that are 1 win apart. So you got the Bulls at 43 wins, Raptors at 43 wins, Cavs are at 42. Cavs are at the 7th seed. So Cavs could move their way up. These last couple games are going to be important because this is important seeding right here because they're currently going to verse the 76ers probably, or actually they're going to be in the play-in if they're the 7th seed. And I think they'd verse the Nets too. They'd verse the Nets probably in the first game of the play-in. Probably not going to win that. They're probably not going to win that. So, Cavs, shit, maybe they even missed the playoffs. Jared Allen's been hurt. But for me, Cavs are definitely a play-in team. I'll put them right there. I just think they started really good, but I kind of knew they'd fall off. I knew they really weren't who it looked like they were at the beginning there when they were getting hot. Came out, they were like 2-3 seed early on in the season, kind of slowed down now, came back down to earth. So yeah, the Cavs are a play-in team to me. Next up, we have one of the most interesting teams in the league, the Boston Celtics. Oh man, Jesus, bro, I don't know where to put them. This might be the toughest team to rank. They're currently the 4 seed, 47 wins, 47 and 29. Obviously, the top is packed, or it's close. You got the Heat, 48 wins. Sixers, 46 wins. Bucks, 46 wins. Celtics, 47, but they're 4th seed because of like losses or something. Oh man. Obviously, seeding will help the Celtics if they can finish as like a 1 or a 2. That'll help them unless they somehow draw the Nets. East is tough, bro, because you want to draw. If you're a high seed, you want to get a Raptors, you want to get a Cavs. You don't really want to draw the Nets in the first round because the Nets are going to be like the 8th seed, which is kind of scary. I don't want to put that many people in contenders because it's so easy to put Celtics, Sixers, Heat, and contenders. Oh man, so okay, so I have 2 from there. I'm only going to put 1 more team in contenders, and I guess the Celtics aren't that team. Celtics are going to be at the top of the playoff teams, though. I really like the Celtics, and I think they could go on a run if things break their way. I really like them a lot. Is this their year? Probably not, but who knows? If they get hot at the right time, win a series, upset a team, who knows? But I like the Celtics a lot. Probably not their year, though. They could win a couple series, though. Next up, Sixers. Sixers will be the team that I put in contenders. They will be the team that I put in contenders out of the East. So I just like them. Maxey, Harden, Embiid, Harris. This team's built to go to the finals. They're built for a playoff run. So I like the Sixers, and they're going to be my contender. And obviously, that means we'll just skip to it. The Heat are going to be at the top of my playoff teams. I'll put them ahead of the Celtics. The Heat are a really strong team, and they're a team that has a lot of depth. They have a lot of shooters. Tyler Hero, 6-man. They got Duncan Robinson, Vincent, Strus. They got just so many shooters. Butler, Adebayo. This team's just built, and they could have easily been my contender, but I'm going to give it to the Sixers just because they got a little bit more star power, and just that's what you need in the playoffs. I feel like you need those stars. You need those guys that will take over the game. And honestly, that's why I picked the Sixers. But the Heat they definitely work better as a team. Very tough here. I think the Heat and Celtics are honestly contenders also, but I don't want to put them in the tier and crowd up the contenders tier. I'd rather keep it from 2 from each conference. So that's what we're going to do. Hornets, 9 seed. They will make the play-in, and that's all they are. They're a play-in team. They probably won't get out. They're going to lose in the play-in my opinion. And in the East, it'll be probably Nets and Cavs. Probably what it's going to be. Maybe Nets and Hawks, actually. Because look. Cavs and Nets are 7-8. So they're going to verse each other, right? I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Nets are probably going to win that. So the Cavs are going to go down. You got Hornets, Hawks. They're going to play. Winner, probably the Hawks. They're going to go up. So Hawks versus Cavs for that last spot. Hawks could win that. I think we might see Nets and Hawks in the playoffs. So the Nets would be the 7 seed, and then the Hawks would be the 8 seed, I think. Shit. Since we're talking about the Hawks, I guess we'll put them. Wait, who do I have making the playoffs in the West? So we have Timberwolves, Clippers, Pelicans, Lakers. So one game. Man. Do the Lakers make it out in one game? They got to win 2 back-to-back. They're going to have to beat like the Pelicans and then like the Clippers or T-Wolves. You know, I'll give it to them. Man, I'm going to have to drop the Clippers down. Actually, no. Damn, do I think Hawks or Cavs will get in? Wait. Okay, I got 7 here in the plan, and then the Nets are up here. Okay, so we got the Wizards, and this is going to be another one. What's going on here? Not sure. This team needs to get rid of Beal. They need to figure something out, because this is not it. I don't know what they're doing, but it's not it. It is not it. So they need to figure it out. Magic, rebuilding, very young team. Got some talent. I like Jonathan Isaac a lot. He's always hurt, though. Really young team. Pacers, another one. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Like, they don't really deserve, like, that much talk. So we'll just put them in rebuilding. But yeah, this is what I have. These are going to be my tiers. I'm just trying to decide right now. Okay, so for my play-in, there's 4 teams in each conference, 2 get in. So we have the Nets making it. And then do I want the Cavs or the Hawks? So it's going to be Hawks versus Hornets probably. I think Hawks win that. Do I play it safe and just move the Cavs along? Or, oh shit. Or do I think the Hawks get... Trae Young could heat up and he could beat them. You know, I'll keep the Cavs. But I think the Hawks... Sorry. I think the Hawks have a really good chance. These 3, unfortunately, are probably just going to lose in the play-in. And then, of course, I got the Nets up here. So, yeah, these are my tiers. Let me know what you guys think. Who is going to be your finals matchup? Who's going to be your finals winner? Let me know below. I have a lot of videos planned for this channel. MLB The Show is coming out Friday. So I'll probably do some videos on that. Let me know if you guys want to see videos on that. Because I honestly don't know. Like, they might flop. They might bang. I have no clue. I might daily upload today too. So if you're seeing this, probably gonna daily upload, or not daily upload, double upload. Probably gonna have a second video dropping later. And yeah, I'm trying to be more consistent on this channel. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.